My main goal is to blow up and then act like I don't know nobody. My main goal, my main goal, my main goal, my main goal is to.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing today? Oh no, she's gonna use all of her executive powers. Kristen, what's up? Doug, what's up? Danny, what's up? Tex, what's up? How's everybody doing? Love all your faces. As you can see by the title on the screen, solicitation on Reddit should be a crime. That's what we're going to go over today. Cat's Meow, what's up? How are you? Long time no see. Roxy, what's going on? Might want to put your earmuffs on, Roxy. It's going to be a great one. Gonna be a great one. Before we do get started, I do want to apologize to literally everybody on TikTok. Literally everybody. I caused a lot of problems. My actions were not the greatest. If I had it all to do over again, I would 100% do the same things over. So I don't have any regrets in that sense. But I am sorry for the monsters that I've created. I'm sorry for the things that I've done, you know, to... I'll just show you what I mean.
There's no side. We have mutuals, Charles. That's why I was giving you a shot, because I hated that guy until you pissed on the graves, and then that set me up for what I was set up for, to learn from it and grow. I didn't get a thrill out of hurting people. It made me sick inside. I realized that. So I made a point to not do that again after I apologized to Bunny and Cat, because that's not the person I am, whether you choose to believe it or not.
So as you can see, I started it all. I was the reason Lizzie is who she is. I created it. I was the cause and the effect in her life to make her the person that she was on TikTok. So I deeply apologize to anybody who I have affected by my actions. I still would have done it over again because I know why I did it. But I'm just saying, I created the monster. I'm responsible, so I'm taking ownership. And play it again. Okay, we'll play it one more time. I know, I'm sorry. I created it. I'm responsible. I'm taking ownership of it and apologizing to you guys. You guys can accept the apology, and I hope that you do. Especially considering I'm leaving you guys with that whenever I leave. So, once again, hear it from Lizzie's mouth.
There's no side. We have mutuals, Charles. That's why I was giving you a shot, because I did. Remember, I liked you before I liked Misfit. I hated that guy until you pissed on the graves, and then that set me up for what I was set up for, to learn from it and grow. I didn't get a thrill out of hurting people. It made me sick inside. I realized that. So I made a point to not do that again after I apologized to Bunny and Cat, because that's not the person I am, whether you choose to believe it or not.
I can't believe I created that. I'm responsible for that, you know? Everything that she went on to do from the point that I pissed on a crayon drawing of graves. Everything that happened since then, my fault. So, hopefully you guys can accept my deepest apologies. Moving on a little further, I want to hear another statement that she made, just so that I can preface, you know, for the next part. So I think that it was pretty telling. What a lot of people don't know is Lizzie made so many videos for me. I didn't watch them. And then people were pointing this out to me, and I was like, wow, I wish I would have saw that a long time ago, because I would have had some things to say. Because I literally watch her for 30 seconds and then I stop, because I don't pay attention to it. But anyway, here we go.
I will watch my word choices so Pete doesn't get all upset.
I find it interesting that you choose your words carefully for Pete. He's handsome, huh? I also believe Salty when he told me that what you had said was that when you were a kid, another kid pulled your pants down and attempted something, and you were describing to him how much you kind of liked it. Either way, like I said, if it is the case that your daddy fucked you, projecting that onto me is not going to make him unfuck you. I was never intimidated by you. You make me extremely uncomfortable. And now I'm seeing it more how, now that you grew your mustache back in, since I pointed out how fucking weird that is, you look a lot like the guy I'm talking about in that Reddit. You talk just like him too, minus the massive dick. No wonder why it would cost you $75 million. Put your mouth on pussy.
Why would it cost me $75 million? I get that shit for free, dog. It's just not yours. Anyway, she conflated me and said that I reminded her and I looked like her ex Mikey, right? The one that she wrote her Reddit post about. I look like him. Not just act like him, not just talk like him. I look like him. So I don't know why she's mad. I don't know why she's mad. She went back to him time after time after time after time. But it's somehow my fault. Her whole life, everything, all the decisions she's ever made, it's my fault. Which is just weird to put that type of blame. Like, taking ownership of your own actions would most likely help you heal from some of that fake ass fucking trauma that you've been through and go through. But I digress. Either way, I do have to read it from my phone because for some reason when it's on the screen, it's like blurry, so I can't really see it on my screen, but I do know that you guys can see it. Start it over, sorry. I'm obviously not going to read all of it. I just want to touch on some things, put my perspective onto what we're actually reading here. She goes on, I think in the top line or somewhere in here, that it's like a kink, it's like a dynamic that she wants. This frames this kink that she has, the daddy-daughter dynamic, whatever you want to call it. It frames it as though it's like a cute kink problem, as though it's like an attachment of sorts to the trauma that she's been through. Totally disregarding all the things that she's been through. This isn't a subreddit for a kink. This isn't a trauma help Reddit. This isn't a safe place for you to go putting out a story like this and get healing. This is not what you're looking for whenever you're posting to a daddy-daughter kink subreddit. It's more or less like her empowering herself, like putting herself in a dynamic to where that it's like a sexual niche, the daddy-daughter kink. It's not an obvious telling of what really happened, the trauma that what really happened. It's more so her selling her vulnerability, if that makes sense. You can't see the chat, doesn't show up. Like the chat between people. Liz is in here somewhere. She goes on to describe herself as being a 29-year-old female 4'11", 100 pounds. She says she looks like a teen. So throw that in to what follows. So she's looking for a daddy figure to like put her on top of this pedestal, to put her first, buy her things, Jordans, X amount of different things. She wants like a parent partner dynamic. And then she can't tell that this is dark age play. It's exactly what this is. This is her presenting herself as a younger looking female. A teen would be what she's describing herself as. For her to then go and look for older men or men in general, posting this online to a subreddit for a kink for daddies, being a sugar baby and all. This is someone pedicizing themselves, making themselves appear younger and vulnerable and have a trauma so that it can appeal to the crowd, the target man that she's trying to attract with this. This is her first contribution. She just got out of an abusive relationship with a boy that she dated at 17. And then again, she dated him at 23. The most recent. All 3 times, he was severely mentally abusive. I like to say he could run a cult. He was so manipulative and good at it. She then goes on to present herself as a little one with a little man syndrome. So she's tough as hell and have actually won fights against men on several occasions. She drinks more than men too. This would be herself portraying herself as tough. Tough. Yet she wants to be a sub for daddies. It's gross. It's a branding. This is a contract. She's trying to sell herself in this way. It's basically inflating her own ego. I highly doubt that was a possibility. Who is Dylan? Sorry, dude. Probably shouldn't be in here. She goes on to describe her ex as being 6'1", 180 to 200 pounds. He has a giant dick. It's like a very pretty dick. I'll give him that. He had a porn-worthy dick. I can thank him for getting rid of that pesky gag reflex. Because once I got a hold of an average-sized peener, I impressed even myself. But the sex was never good for me. Because I'm small and tight. I do Kegels twice a day. You know. Should have just stayed in timeout, Dylan. Come on, bro. At 17 was the first time that her and Mikey dated. He raped her. I know, right? He said I had to do anal because I took his virginity when I wasn't one. So, of course, I should let him take that. Laughy emoji. It's very weird to go putting a laugh emoji in this section of your trauma. Worst pain ever. 2 minutes in, I was saying no and fighting him off, but I was unsuccessful. Yet she returned to this guy multiple times over several years. She got out of a 4.5-year relationship with a sweet boy, which would indicate that it was most likely probably an amicable relationship. Might not have been the best relationship that she ever had, but she quit that one because she wanted to go back to her manipulator because he could run a cult. You know, he could run a cult. That is making herself the focal point of like his manipulation, putting him at a power dynamic versus her being traumatic, you know, being in a traumatic situation. This is how you would appeal to the people you're trying to find in this daddy-daughter sub-kink Reddit. Fast forward 10 years later. So they were split up for X amount of time. She was in that 4.5-year relationship. She got back with him. Fast forward 2 years after that, we had been drinking, but not that much. A 12 Pabst between us. So who had more? Or was it equal? Was it 6 each? Was it 10 him, 2 you? If you're 100 pounds, you probably are getting really drunk on 6. Just saying. Just an easy night. We were walking home from the canal near our house, where we like to drink and fish. Sounding like a story that she read. Sounds like a story she read in like some weird book, like some weird kink magazine or something. On the way home, he said he wanted to order food. He made some backhanded comment about how he was only ordering for himself because he pays everything. I said it wasn't fair because he insisted on this dynamic. Once we get home, he tells me to kill myself. A week prior, I fast forwarded. A week prior, I had told him I was worried about the thoughts I had, not realizing his mental abuse was the cause. Interesting. Yeah, she really has. Again, whenever she paints herself to be in the abusive relationship and then she just got out of it and she's just going back, this is her like placing herself as the victim. It's a term called victim positioning. She's broken, but she's a survivor, which is exactly why she would post it here in this subreddit, because these are the men she's trying to attract. Because selling yourself as a broken, vulnerable person when you're wanting to be dominated this way sells. Again, this is a contract for a relationship. This isn't her trying to heal and grow from her trauma. Yet somehow this must have been Mikey's fault. All of this must have been Mikey's fault. She doesn't talk about how her leaving was the best thing that she ever did. No, she wanted to go back to him multiple times. It's a pattern. It's a pattern. I truthfully don't believe that there was any abuse that ever took place. And if it was probably mutual on both ends. If I had to guess. That's not me victim blaming. It's just my opinion. And again, whenever she's also, calling herself built like a teen, she's small, she's putting herself in those shoes, right? Obviously, she is tiny. She's like 4'7". We saw her standing next to Leah. We saw that. She's 4'7". Either way, she wants to sell that to older men, which again is age play. It's her putting herself in a younger body, a younger age. She'll tell you that it's not age play. She'll tell you for people to stop saying it because it's not the case. But it is the case. Yeah, she was totally in heels standing next to Leah. We absolutely saw that. She's 4'7", dude. Which is hilarious. That's why she won't show her ID. She wants to eroticize this as though this is not trauma. It's something she wants. It's something she's looking for in a partner. Again, to be a dad figure to her, a parent figure to her, someone who can control the money and give her money. Just give her her card. It is most possibly true Most possibly true. It's fathomable to believe that some trauma took place here. But this isn't a place where you can post something like this and expect it to be seen as anything other than a contract looking for somebody to just re-traumatize her in a way. I don't know. Does that make sense? It might not. That's just my opinion, though. Also, when she describes her ex in the way that she does, she's obviously fantasizing about that. It's what gets her. It's what attracted her to him. That's why she went back to him multiple times. This isn't something that a trauma survivor does. Like, they don't just leave those type of relationships and then talk about it. That's not part of the healing process. The healing process is totally different from describing them in such a way. They're pretty, they're tall, they're everything that I was looking for in a man. They're bad boy. They've been to jail, they've done this, they've done that. It's not trauma healing. This is selling trauma, making herself look like a victim so that she can sell it to men on the internet. Why wasn't she successful on OnlyFans? I'll never understand. That's the thing. Like, they got the story all wrong, like in the video where she was talking about my father being the one, or a little boy when we were in school pulled my pants down, all that kind of stuff. They don't have the right story. If they had the right story and they were talking about it, it might affect me in some type of way. I done a lot of the healing process and moved on through a lot of the things, but what they say doesn't hurt me because it's not my story. I've never said that. So it was them putting words in my mouth, but then I just went along with it because it's just what I do, because they just can't hurt me with words. But I don't have anything good to say about my abuser, and I would never describe them as anything but an abuser and a manipulator, a child rapist. That's how I would describe them. They got a 10-foot cock, though. They got a 10-foot cock, so I guess being a manipulator and being a rapist is great. It's fucking weird, bro. It's always going to be weird. Makes no sense to me, but moving on. She goes on to describe, some abuse that happened. I lost my shit, slapped a water bottle off the dresser with an expert precision, got him directly between his eyes. I'll take things that never happened for 600, Alex. He charged at me, grabbed me by the throat, and slammed me into a wall with my feet dangling. Things that never happened for 900, Alex. He choked me till I turned blue. I punched him several times in the Adam's apple, and he didn't even blink. Somehow, he let go before I passed out. That night, I saw a post for a cook position at a day camp up north that involved living on camp. I applied and got the best job I ever had. Being a camp cook was the only job you ever had. That's why it's the best job you ever had. Just want to throw that out there. At camp, I got back at him, and I cheated on him with this stunning black man. God, he was pretty, and he fucked like a champ. Mikey was from the South and very racist. You live in the South of Canada. You can't get any further south. South Montreal? Anyway, Mikey was from the South and very racist, so it felt even better to achieve the climax with a black man. Mikey never could. I just want to let you know, Lizzie, since you're most likely watching, that if you used a black man to get back at your racist ex, you're racist. You're the fucking racist. That's not going to compute. At camp, I also started to rebuild my self-esteem. The turned heads and genuinely knowing I was the hottest thing to walk through the kitchen really boosted my ego. I took my first selfies and responses was overwhelming. I would imagine that everybody else in that kitchen was probably 80. So what are you comparing yourself to? 80-year-old fucking... That part. Comparing yourself to kids that help in the cafeteria. Yeah. This is fucking gross. Anyway, Mikey said selfies were for whores and didn't want me taking any without him in it. My body was the best it's ever been. I mean, I was lean and my already good booty had reached a whole new level. So when I finally ran out of excuses to come home for a visit from camp, I told myself I'd dump his ass. He was a step behind or ahead of me and had read my texts on Text Now, the texting app. So I didn't get the satisfaction of telling him I cheated with a black man. Honestly, Lizzie, I got nothing to say. If you can't tell that you're the racist one here, I can't help you, and I don't think anybody else can help you either. It's weird. South Canada. Is that America? I'm confused. Somebody help me with that one. Anyone help me with that one. Yeah, I think Stephanie needs to figure that one out. Cheating with a black man on purpose to get back at your racist ex makes you the racist. Sorry, but I think Stephanie would agree with that. It's weird. Mikey's not white. Well, then what was the point of going with the black man? Oh man. I am fucking lost. I am fucking lost, but it's weird. She said he was brown? But looks like... Okay. Either way, purposely going after or targeting a black man for sex and then bragging about it to your racist boyfriend makes you the racist. You used a black man. You're the racist. Anyway. Where are we at? Did I lose myself? I think I lost myself. Maybe I did. Let's continue. Such a weird. I'm a sweetheart, but if you cross me, I'm evil to a scary degree. I couldn't get back at Mikey physically, so I did emotionally. That text now number he was spying on, well, that's the number I used on Tinder. So he's the one who received all the dick pics and watched me organizing dates that I sometimes never went to. It was just to get to him to see it. Who's the abuser here? Because honestly, I think it was Lizzie. So yeah, it's definitely Lizzie. Okay, enough of that. Contribution number 2. I'm a daddy's girl. I grew up this little tough tomboy. I grew up this little tough tomboy. Oh man. Now I understand why you can't read a t-shirt. Because my daddy raised me like that. He said he wanted a girl and boy. That's it. After my sister, he said I was going to be his boy. He's a biker with a bad boy past. But he was proudest of me. When I'd get into fist fights at soccer games, he'd be cheering from the sidelines. That's my Lizzie. Get her. Usually he was drunk. So your dad showed up drunk to soccer games. Okay. And you saw nothing wrong with that. You're proud of that. You're proud of your father. Interestingly enough, this is the type of man you're targeting with this post. Do you want to fuck your... I think she wants to fuck her dad, bro. Disgusting. But he was a good drunk, so I don't have any bad memories from it. He paraded me around at company picnics saying I was his favorite daughter or best girl, which caused a rift with my mom and sister who still resent me for it. And being blessed with the genes which keep me thin, they're fat, angry women. Since childhood, I have been boy crazy and loved all men because my daddy showed me how awesome men are. Totally wants to fuck her dad. So I'm always surrounded by them. My mom and sister gave me the hatred I have for 90% of women I come across. Women in friendships have taught me that they don't value loyalty and will throw you under the bus for some fuckboy they obsess over. That explains a lot, because that is exactly what you have done to so many fucking women. It's deeply misogynistic, yet you've labeled me as such all over. Lizzie's dad is totally a groomer. He grew her into this. Now, this is what she's attracted to. She's attracted to her dad. That's very obvious. Because that's the men. That's the specific target that she's looking for. Somebody to parade her around and be proud of her. Go to her soccer games. Cheer for her when she gets into fights while being drunk. He's got a bad boy past. Interestingly enough, that's what attracted her to Brian Carlson. He's TikTok's bad boy. That's what she said. The women who date my buddies, they force their men not to talk to me because I'm an attractive woman. So even after 12 years of friendship, that means I'm going to steal their man. Fucking bitches. Honestly, they're probably still in happy, committed relationships while you're still out here looking for Brian Carlson, a known pedophile. Which, when you call yourself a teen that is 100 pounds, we know what you're insinuating, what you're targeting, which is exactly why you found Brian Carlson, which is exactly why you were attracted to him, why you wanted to marry him. Anyway, moving on. Am I at the right part? So all this to say I have a big daddy kink. I like a man who smells like gasoline and cigarettes. That smell actually drives me into a frenzy. Who works with his hands, and they look like he does. What? Big teddy bear men with a damaged past and a bad boy reputation. Jail time is an added bonus, in my opinion. Interesting. So she puts herself as a victim, right? In a subreddit for daddy kinks. She goes on to have a fantasy about meeting a man like her dad because her dad paraded her around as the best, was proud of her, would take her to sporting events and what was it? Work events and say how proud she was. And that's my good girl. She's totally fucking attracted to her father. But this is an ad. It's an ad. She wants to find her father, and she also wants to push her mother and sister away out of the house so that she could most likely marry her dad. That's what I secretly think that she wants. She wants to portray herself around to be like a small, tiny, vulnerable victim, but she's tough, right? It's kind of placing herself as a victim role so that she could target these kind of men, these blue collar ex-convicts, It's weird, but still, I get it. I understand. So you can imagine the gems like Mikey I end up with. But I also love to be a delicate little thing behind closed doors because my tough girl persona that most see. So she admits that her persona is being a tough girl that most people see. So it's all fake. Totally understand that. It's basically most likely like ego driven to the point where it's like she's trying to mask like the true person she is inside. Very weak, hasn't done the growth, hasn't done the healing, refuses to be better. Oh, yeah, sure. That'd be perfect. We're almost done with it anyway. Honestly, I spent too long because as I'm reading it, some of it's just weird to me. I can't help it. Anyway. So TLDR, what the fuck is that? I don't know how to speak Reddit. Her ex abused me, used money to do it most of the time. Dad was amazing and put me on a pedestal. Oddly enough, I don't think that she recognizes what she's doing here, but she's totally fantasizing over her father. Like her father is the perfect man that she's looking for. It's what she's looking for. It's just weird because I've never wanted to find a significant other, man or woman, since I'm gay as fuck. Never wanted either one of them to be like my dad or my mom. I wanted them to be polar opposites. I couldn't stand either one of their personalities. Loved them both, but their personalities sucked. My kink, to have a daddy who parades me around like a trophy and hypes me up. I'm a daddy's girl who gets whatever she wants. I can call and say, Daddy, I saw this amazing pair of Jordans. Can I have them, please? He says, of course, sweetheart. Take my card. Which is exactly what I was saying. She literally, clearly, very clearly wants to be in a relationship with her father because that's exactly what her father was already doing. I guess she had to grow up and he probably kicked her out of the house because he was drinking too much. All the sugar daddies I come across want to degrade me. And that is something I've been there and done that. No thanks. Okay. I know that there's like a lot of contradictions in this Reddit post, but she says that all the sugar daddies I've come across want to degrade me. And that is something I've been there and done that. No thanks. But at the very beginning, this is a specific daddy dynamic that she wants that she was never able to find. So is this the first time or the 29th time? I think she just wants to fuck her father. It's very clear. And the Findoms are just fucking cruel to men and call them things like worms and bitches. I love men. I don't like saying that to them. Anyways, if you're a baby and have advice, or a daddy that has experienced this and could lead me on the right path, I would be over the moon. Interesting. Interesting. So basically, in my opinion, it severely depicts just a very weak individual. First of all, someone who puts themselves as a victim to sell it to people who are exactly like her father. And then she wonders how she got involved with a man like Brian Carlson.
There's no side. We have mutuals, Charles. That's why I was giving you a shot, because I did. Remember, I liked you before I liked Misfit. I hated that guy until you pissed on the graves, and then that set me up for what I was set up for, to learn from it and grow. I didn't get a thrill out of hurting people. It made me sick inside. I realized that. So I made a point to not do that again after I apologized to Bunny and Kat, because that's not the person I am, whether you choose to believe it or not.
Well, I definitely choose not to believe it. That's for sure. But obviously you can see that I met Brian Carlson and Misfit Patriot at the same time. And had I never pissed on a crayon drawing of a graveyard, she would have never met Brian. So it's my fault. It's my fault. Like, take some ownership. You wrote this 25 years before you even met me. So these are the guys that you were looking for. So first of all, it's not my fault. Second of all, you're looking for a father figure. Third of all, you're fantasizing and fetishizing this dynamic where you want to be younger. You want to appear younger to older men. This is age play. It's disgusting. You should be ashamed of yourself, but don't think you're capable of that because you didn't do the growing. You didn't do the healing. You haven't worked through your trauma. And had you posted this story in like a survival subreddit where people could help you through it, you most likely could have gotten that help that you were looking for. Because I tend to agree with most of the people that commented on this. I don't think what was perfect for you. See, right here, Mr. Devon. You should find a therapist, not a relationship. Totally agree with that. Her response, that's hilarious. Response. Considering a lot of people would say the same to you. Pretty sure that's common judgment perpetuated on sugar babies. Check yourself. First of all, you're not a sugar baby. You're a weak woman who didn't do anything with her life, and this is why you are who you are. Putting the blame on other people, like your mom and your sister for not loving you the way that you needed to be loved, but your father put you on a pedestal. Your father wanted you to be the boy. You're blaming everyone else around you except for yourself. You had the control over literally everything in your life And yet you have a repeated pattern of behavior that just doesn't change. And honestly, truthfully, for the longest time, I really felt sorry for you, Lizzie. I really did. I really felt sorry for you. And whether you choose to believe it or not, I defended you in rooms that you weren't in. That's my biggest regret, dog, because there's so many people that I stopped from coming at you for various reasons. And you did not deserve it. You did not deserve it. And Lizzie, whether you choose to believe it or not, had you not inserted yourself into my shit, you wouldn't have even known who I was. We would have never interacted, ever. You put yourself in front of me and talk shit to me and then expect me not to say anything. That's not the way that it works, dog, first of all. And second of all, we could go back and forth for years and years and years and years. We can. We've done it for how many years now? The sad reality is you guys don't do it for me anymore. And I'm bored. 100% bored. I started the drama. As you said, I started the drama by peeing on a crayon drawing of somebody's family's graveyard. No matter where in the timeline that happened, I'm the cause of it all. So you can say that I was the start of it, and I'm going to be the end of it. And that's all there is to it. And the fact that I'm taking that power away from you guys to where that you'll never be able to enter my life ever again, I think that hurts your feelings, which is why you guys are interacting with me so much right now on TikTok, which is just strange and peculiar behavior anyway. But it kind of is what it is. Pathologically, though, psychologically, though, there's so many red flags just all over it. And I know that there'll be a breakdown somewhere else for exactly those red flags and things like that. But making statements like I hate 90% of women put so much perspective. I didn't read all of that, you know. I thought the funniest parts was at the beginning because you were soliciting yourself as a minor. You said in there, you said you were a little one with little man syndrome, and then said that you look like a teen that was 100 pounds. So I started saying you look like a 12-year-old boy. So I apologize if that hurt your feelings, but I just took it from your words and just put a spin on it just to hurt your feelings. And it totally worked because you talked about it for days. But saying things like you hate 90% of women and putting that onus on it, right? Putting those comments out there explains a lot as to why when Brian Carlson entered the scene and there was multiple women, so many women coming forward while you were trying to insert yourself and make them shut up because you wanted Brian Carlson to be the victim when he never was the victim, only to later, like sometime this year, call him out. Crazy, but I totally understand why you did what you did now. It makes total sense. It's your own healing and trauma that you got to work through because you did not fix your relationship with your mother. I totally get that now. And those thought processes and feelings about women was instilled by your father in you. He taught you to be that way. He most likely said similar things, you know, making you the favorite and calling you daddy's girl and kind of stuff like that. You were the favorite, so he probably traumatized them as well. But your trauma is the only one that matters. Makes perfect sense for somebody like you. It's weird how you could put something like this out on the internet, first of all. take the criticism that's in these comment sections. I'm not going to watch all of them because I'm kind of just over it. Just done with it. But you take these comments that are coming up and you get so pissed off at the people that were leaving them. You write paragraphs to them. You're upset with them trying to tell you that you need to go out and get some help, not a relationship. This is advice. This is advice that you should have taken multiple years ago. At the time of these screen recordings, whoever, I don't care where they came from, but at the time of these, you posted this 5 years prior to that. So what, 5, 6, 7 years ago? What have you changed, dog? What have you changed? Like seriously, like if you can't see your own problems are perpetuated by you, I'm sorry, but I don't think that you're ever going to get the help that you need. Never going to get the help that you need. Yeah, she wrote this seeking advice. She wanted help finding her father in another man, of course, because she wanted to fuck her dad. But she probably has some sort of moral compass that says fucking her dad would be incest, so she's probably not okay with that, but she really fucking wants to. So that's what she goes looking for and seeking in other men. Which is weird that she would get together with somebody like Brian Carlson, who at the time they were getting together, there were screenshots that come out that he wanted to fuck another woman in front of her kids in the kitchen. And she was still defending that guy. I don't know, but I would have done some regression, but that's just me. I don't know. I would have overthought my thought process here. Anyway, she gets upset at all these comments, which is perfectly acceptable for you to get offended and become defensive when other people are telling you to seek help. Like, I think that's pretty common for other people to do. You know, these are traumas. If they're real traumas, I would beg to say that they are real traumas. She most likely did experience these, but I also think she caused a lot of it, first of all. I'm not saying that she deserved to be raped or she caused someone to rape her. I think that's gross. And if that was a real story and that's truly what happened, I think Mikey should be put to death. But I'm just saying, everything that she's looking for in a man comes from what her dad instilled in her. She's looking for that. It's gross. It's time at, what are you, 46? 47? I think it's time to, like, fix it. Like, change. It's my opinion. I don't think that you're willing. I don't think that you're willing. And it might not be that you're not willing. I just don't think that you're ready. You're ready to change. So, what did you send me on Instagram? Did you want to come in? Is that what was happening? Copy. Paste. Bink. I don't use IG that often, dog. We got to change this up. What of this do you want me to use? All of it? I strangled myself. Why not? Let me try it one more time. Because I don't know. Did I do it right this time? No, I didn't do it right. Send me like a Gmail to send it to, or an email or something. Send it to me on IG, and I'll send you the link that way. It won't let me send it that way, I don't think. Because I'm doing it on the computer. Copy. Meg, brother, I know that you're friends with the person we were just talking about, so sorry. I had to dissect the Reddit. Why won't the how do you send the link? Bink. Wait a minute. Give me another second. I'll try it this way. Well, I'll try anyway. No, it won't work that way either. But you're right, it's totally not clickable. Why not? It's totally not clickable. Dink. Copy. Someone figured it out.
Yeah, it's me, Hoops. I sent it to Ashley in Messenger, and then I clicked it, so it works if she'll click on the one in Messenger.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't have any of that like hooked up to my laptop, so I don't have like Messenger or anything like that on here. I would have to do it from my phone, and I'm obviously not in here on my phone, so.
Well, I just wanted to see if it would work, but okay. Also, I asked you 5,000 times, where's Jericho? You didn't answer me.
Oh, I can explain it really quick if you want, if you need that explanation.
Well, I haven't been on TikTok or watched your podcast in a long time. I've been busy.
Last week I had an episode where I kind of explained it, but I'll do the short version. Debbie says Jarek and I are no longer allowed to be friends, and he's no longer allowed to do the podcast. And then she took his phone and said he lost phone privileges. She blamed a lot of stuff on me through a text messages, but allegedly now he is a cheater, even though she's a cheater. Their dynamic needs to be fixed. I wish nothing but the best for them. I don't want to lose Jarek as a friend. Never wanted to. That's me just being real. But also at the same time, like, they need to fix their stuff, and they need to go and fix their stuff. And I kind of told them that in like a therapy session, that they need to fix it. They need to work on it. They need to do whatever they need to do to fix it. Because
Okay.
they're going down a weird path it's going to be broken forever if they don't fix it. But I wish them
that's
nothing but
sad.
the best. I love them, so let them go and figure it out.
Yeah, that's sad. Okay. Anyways,
Thanks, Jackie.
you're welcome. You guys look beautiful. Bye.
Bye.
What up, dog? What are this? I'm gonna have to send this right to myself so that I can post it in here.
Yeah.
What do you want? All of it? What do you want me to show?
Well, all of it plays different parts for what you were reading and how you were saying, like who's on who she's attracted to, and then you said like the Brian Carlson thing, and then like the part where she was like, if you go to jail, it's even better or whatever. So I thought it was interesting because of the things that were put in there, and then her relationship with her mom. When you stated that, like, I sent you the messages where she literally says that her mom, even her own mom, claimed that the Reddit, like, and the things that she says she experienced wasn't true.
Okay. Then I'll download these. Obviously keep everybody entertained, and I will put these up on the screen. if I can.
Do a sitting down jig. I don't know how to entertain anybody. I'm not entertaining. I will say this though, I did make a post before joining into here, and I chose to do it in a way that rage baited. So I just thought I'd give everyone a warning that it's definitely to bait them. But it's not jail bait. It's just rage bait.
It won't let me download them from your fucking thing. So
Is there a different way I can send them?
I don't. You could probably share your screen.
Okay,
here.
hold on. Let me figure out.
Since you're on your phone, I think like down at the bottom of the screen, is there like a little man character with a plus next to him?
A little man character. I do not see that.
I don't know what it looks like on the. Oh, she exited. She doesn't know how to work it. Is this a video? I don't know if some of these are videos or not. I don't think they are. You hit the arrow to exit, didn't you?
Yeah, I accidentally hit the arrow to. I was gonna try and hit the back button because I clicked on something, and normally I hit the back button, but I exited right out. I don't see a little man. No.
Right. Oh, well, first of all, you know, that's one thing about it. You can call me whatever you want, but you know about it.
Working on a tranny a week ago, and now you're saying she's hot with a 10-inch dick. Yeah, you're fucking faggot.
Easy, right. Oh, well, first of all, you know, that's one thing about it. You can call me whatever you want, but you know about it.
Working on a tranny a week ago, and now you're saying she's hot with a 10-inch dick.
That's weird.
So that's actually. So that's Rev. That's the one that her baby daddy messaged like 29 messages about how he walked in on Lizzie touching herself in front of her kid.
Yeah.
Well, she was on the phone with Rev. That's Rev. And what was interesting is right before all of that went down and they ended up fighting over that, I sent you a screenshot of it's like a white text background and it says like the world would not be a better place with more Liz, like more Lizzie. Like that was while they were together. He was telling that to other people. And on their Instagram lives, he would sit there and like, she'd be like, do it for me just once. And he would grab his gun and like cock it. And then she'd be like, whatever. Like, and that's like her whole persona is liking like the bad guys, right? The ones that are like not the like productive members of society. And I think that that's interesting because right after that is when she wanted to go leaning towards Keith. You remember Pod Boss?
I do. I mean,
Okay,
I don't know him that much, but I mean, I do remember that being a thing all over TikTok for a while.
Yeah, and he's like a straight up junkie. And one time they were live on Instagram. That's the screenshot where it shows. I don't know what just happened there. You disappeared on me, but it shows screenshots of them being live, and my comments are in them. And then she's like, "Please don't say things like that in the live because he can see those comments." I had sat there saying, "What in the fear and loathing in Las Vegas is going on around here?" And she like tried to defend his like junkie business, and I was like, "Bro, no, you're not going to defend that to me." She absolutely loves all the toxicity, and then if there is somebody like half decent around her, she like completely throws it out the window. She painted Justin, which is her kid's dad, as like the biggest piece of shit, but everything that she explained to me flipped that for me. She sent messages where it was like, he smashed my TikTok stand and smashed the Wi-Fi box. And I was like, really? Oh my God. Because at first you're like, yo, like, why are people smashing things? And then you find out afterwards it's because she won't get the fuck off her phone. So he was trying to remove the abilities for her to be on the phone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can. I'm not saying that she didn't go through any trauma. Right. I wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
I've said that a couple times, just trying to piss her off or whatever. But it's
For sure
very
she has.
clear. It's very clear that there's trauma there. The problem is now she's trying to solicit it. She's trying to fantasize about it and trying to turn it into a whole franchise where this is the type of man she's looking for. And it all started with her father, because that's how she's describing her father. Which to me is, I mean, it's a little bit weird, but maybe they do that in South Canada. I don't know.
South Canada.
Maybe that's what they do in South Canada. I'm not entirely sure, but to me, it's just a little bit weird that she fantasizes about her father so much.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to download
What's
these things
weirder
right now.
is that when her dad was sent the Reddit, he only hearted one of the screenshots, and it was the one where she was describing and laughing about the size of her abuser's dick. That's the only one he hearted.
He hearted it though.
I
In
sent you the
general,
screenshot. I sent you the screenshot. He hearted it.
I'm not even sure that they didn't fuck. I am leading to believe that that's possibly what happened and why she has a hatred towards her mom and her sister. Also,
Yeah, maybe.
dog, I mean, I've seen your sister. Your sister has better genes, Lizzie. I'm sorry, dog, but your sister has better genes, man. And your fucked up teeth was just not it, dog.
Well, and actually, it's interesting because she sat there and says in the Reddit about how like all of her girlfriends wouldn't let her around her guy friends because, you know. And I found that interesting because when the Mean Girls were all like making, listen, I hate to do it, but I'm on the side with them in that position. They made a couple hot dog water like comments in a live. It was so minor. She blew it up into this huge deal that they were bullying her. When she explained it to me, her words were all the girls in her life that were her friends all backstabbed her, and they were all like pretending to be like she's like cool, she's their friend, da 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 da, and then they all would turn on her for all the like boys or other people around and like do her dirty, and that's why she doesn't trust girls, and that the Mean Girls were bullying her, and it reminded her of that. So I thought it was interesting because all the girls didn't like her because apparently she was beautiful. But then all of a sudden it was all the girls didn't like her because she didn't fit in, and they would all like turn on her and go off and do all these things. Like the story always changes. She was arrested for assault, but then when you say, "Oh, you were arrested for assault," show it. I went to jail, but it wasn't for the assault. Okay, what is the actual story? Everything she says, she flips around to something else 2 or 3 years later, thinking no one will remember what she said.
It's weird behavior, first of all, but where's? I wish I knew how to do this better or be quicker with it. Sorry.
No, me too. I am not technological at all.
I'm not either. Okay, so click this, drag this here to here. Copy to downloads. Down. All right. Now let's see if it works. I don't know how many you can add or which, because I think by saving it this way, I don't even know if it's going to be in chronological order. So I'm going to try to do it the best I can, but add to stage. And I can't make it any bigger than that. So what is this?
Okay, so that was actually in reference to the fact that you were saying that she's like trying to attract people that are attracted to minors. And I thought it was interesting because that's what she did on her Twitter. Like first she tried to play victim, that the Twitter that posted everything wasn't her, and it was some company or person that she hired to make the Twitter. And it was like, well, that there is messages between us while she's creating it and creating the bio and in full control of that Twitter. And when you had also stated I don't know why she wasn't successful. It's because she was literally putting it out there for free. Nobody's going to pay or go onto a site and sign up and have a subscription if you're passing it along to everyone in DMs and posting it publicly on Twitter. Like, that's just not going to happen. But on top of it, she was posting on that account where it was like her kid, and then it was a OnlyFans link, and then like it was all on the same platform, which
I
is
also
only going to attract more.
I hate that you sent me this, by the way.
Why?
Sick to my stomach now. She's asking you for advice here. She's like, do you think this bio is stupid? Doesn't she do the reviews on you?
Right.
But she wants your advice.
Yeah,
Okay, make that make sense, you fucking weirdo.
I know.
God, that lady is weird. I don't know how many of these I can put up at a time, so I'll remove them whenever I add them or whatnot. Second one.
I have to look to my TV to see it because we have it big on the TV. I'm blind as shit.
I made Rev laugh at least. That's good, I think. My God, she really enjoyed your friendship more than you enjoyed your friendship with her.
Facts. If you go to the second, like after the large gray paragraph, it says Justin was talking to her mom. I think that's where it is.
Justin's talking about taking my kid from me.
Oh, that might not be the one then. I might have sent the wrong one because I'm blind.
It's okay.
There's
I don't know
another
which
one. It
ones.
explains that her mom doesn't believe about the Reddit. That's what I was trying to send. I think it was still sent to you.
It might have been. Let's see. I don't know which one it's going to be, but I'll just add a bunch of them and open. So this is to you and Justin.
Oh, that's not me and Justin. If it's the pink ones, that was their conversation when she was at the airport, leaving here, like from visiting me and going back home. That's their conversation. Because when she was here, they ended up on a phone call and she wanted to kind of get off the phone. And he was like saying some stuff to her or whatever. And then she put it on speakerphone. And then she said, "How's the kid?" And he said, "What do you mean, how's the kid? He's no different than when you're here." And she's like, "Oh, nice, Justin." And then she ended up taking it off speakerphone, walking away and arguing with him for a while outside or upstairs or around the corner. It wasn't near me. But when she came back, she was like, he's all trying to say that like insult me and saying that like the kid doesn't even notice that I'm gone. And of course, like in my head, I'm already upset at her because of what she did while she was here. But in my head, I was like, he's trying to tell you that you're not present while you're there, and you're not understanding
Yeah.
that. And then,
So this is clearly a pattern that she's had for like literally the whole length of time, which just solidifies the fact that her kid is in a better situation being out of that home and just in general.
I mean, pretty much. But like, she sends me this from the airport and is trying to explain that they were having this conversation and how if you look at it, it's basically saying like, he's like, "I love you, this, that." And she's like, "You deserve better than me." Like, she literally is telling him that she's like not worth it.
Yeah. He goes, "This whole thing is destroying me on the inside. I know I'm not the best guy in the world, and I'm sorry I didn't work harder on us earlier. Now I know that you really don't love me anymore. It's hard being around because I just want to grab you and love you the fuck up. But that boat has sailed." You don't sail a boat, by the way. Anyway. "I'm sorry for yesterday, but I worth more than that. I love you." Man, fucking, I tell you right now, schools have failed these people in Canada. I swear to God, I can't understand it. You're right that you deserve better. And what I've been trying to tell you is I can't be that person anymore. You're my best friend and family to me forever, but I can't force feelings that I don't have. It makes me resentful, which is wrong. But we both deserve to be happy, and unfortunately, we aren't those people for each other. I wish I could erase the past and only see what I see now, but it's something I can't do. I'm sorry, Justin. And I love you more than anyone. It's just not the same way you want it to be. Bro, like some periods and commas would be so perfect here, Lizzie. I want us to be the best for our son. And the way we've been his whole life is at odds. And he needs to see his dad treating his mom with respect. And same for mom treating his dad. At least you can admit it, Lizzie. But the fighting is because you're trying to force me to give you the answer you want, and it makes you uncomfortable to be around, and me to you too. This is so hard to follow. It's use some periods, some better verbs and vowels. I'll always be your best friend, and that's how he should see us. So is this the guy that she left
Yeah,
to go
it's
back
the
to
one
her
that
ex?
like no, this is the same guy that is the kid's dad. This is the one that smashed her TikTok stand,
Right.
that they would fight, that told her over and over he was going to take the kid from her because she doesn't pay attention to the kid, because she's always on the phone with men, and he's paying all the bills.
Judging by her Reddit, though, did she not go back with this Mikey guy while the son was
That's what I
alive
forgot to
and
send you.
born?
Yeah. Yeah. And
So,
in that Reddit,
so that
she
was the
talked.
better relationship. The guy that was so masterfully manipulative that he could be an occult leader. That was the better choice.
Yeah. What's funnier is in the Reddit, there's a guy that she calls Pretty Boy or something like that. I spoke to him. I forgot to send you those screenshots. I spoke to him, and he literally said that the portion of the Reddit where she talks about him was accurate, that they were close, and that they did like I guess he tried to date her or something like that. He's like, but she was too fucking screwed up. She's too fucking mentally screwed up. And she claimed to him that Mikey was her abuser, but then went back to him and told him that she went back to him. And he told me that. He said that that's what she told him. And he was like, what? He's like, why would you do that? He's like, I don't know. She's a whole ass mess. I have nothing to do with her, which was interesting because when I posted it on TikTok, she had claimed that they live close and that they're still really good friends. And I was like, I don't know why you're trying to lie about that. He said straight out, he don't fucking want to know you. Like, that's weird. Is that might be the text about the mom in the Reddit? I can't read it from here.
Let's see. He says he wants to move out. Not sure how that would work. Told me he talked to my mom about how my ex nearly killed me and that my mom didn't believe me, so I was lying and that I probably deserved it. Then screamed from outside that I should have died for all the neighborhood to hear. At least this time my kid wasn't there. That's what this one says.
Yeah.
Then this one. With Rev last night, I love when he opens up and tells me how he feels about me. Says I changed him for the better and how much I'm a blessing in his life. Also that you're a true friend and that I'm lucky to have you. He has hard time saying I love you because it scares him, and he said it a bunch. She goes on to say, Justin spit in my face while I was on the phone with Timothy talking about Rev and how I want to go see him. Screamed next to my kid's door until he woke up, and then in front of him about how my kid hates me. I begged him to stop, but could only take so much. And this is Justin?
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously it's a pattern with these kind of men. And maybe if she wasn't posting on kink subreddits for daddy-daughter kinks, maybe getting into a healthy relationship would be the best. But I also don't think that that's capable of happening until you work through the trauma and the fact that you hate 90% of women, the fact that you want to try to shut down survivors. If you did go through that and you're trying to shut down other survivors, I don't know. To me, it's contradictory. It's also hypocritical, but then also at the same time, it doesn't paint you in a very pleasant image to go around trying to shut down other survivors' story while you're soliciting yourself online in a daddy-daughter kink subreddit to pick up men that are abusive, because that's what
Right?
you're going to find. So I don't know
Yeah,
what this
none of
one
that ever
is.
makes sense to me.
I realized why Rev was being weird. My baby dad sent him like 29 messages. I'm mortified. I never lied. My baby daddy knows I'm in love with Rev. If he never talks to me because of this, I'll never forgive him. Rev's never going to talk to me again. I read all the messages my baby daddy made it look like I'm just living with him to make TikToks while he works. The dude had me living in fear, cheated on me nonstop. My family bailed him out nonstop, and he just fucking ruined something really special I had. I could never have anything good. Again, I'm sorry to be like the bearer of bad news, Lizzie, but if you would have worked on yourself and you would have been living by yourself, you could have provided a better environment for your son. You could have provided a better environment for Rev, and then you wouldn't have found yourself here. So putting the blame on someone else, you're living with your baby daddy, okay? First of all, you're living with him, and then you're throwing in his face that you're in love with a guy. You think he's not going to have some sort of reaction?
Oh,
He
here's
just
the
told
interesting
you that
part.
he loved you.
Here's the interesting part. All of this was happening, and then she was here in Edmonton. And when she did the blow up that she did in the car, and it ended up being just the two of us, she was behind me. I kept it that way. I was very angry. And I said to her, I said, went to say something about how she reacted in the vehicle with my child sitting next to her. And she starts bawling her eyes out, immediately goes into victim mode and says, you don't understand the stress I'm over and how I have to go back to what I have to go back to, and starts crying about it. And I said to her, I said, Lizzie, you're making the choices to live like that. You decide that you'd rather stay home, have this man provide for you, but then not be a partner to this man. You spend the time on TikTok. He's angry about it. You don't work things through there. You're not healthy in that space, and you don't make the choice to change it. Do you want to know what her response to me was? You sound like my fucking mom. And there's a reason I don't talk to my mom.
Yeah, your mom was literally trying to give you advice that you desperately needed in that time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't know how you can't put it together, Lizzie. I don't think anybody's told you that you've actually like listened. That's the thing. You were living with your baby daddy. You've already have a history of going and cheating on Mikey with a black man to get back at him and throwing it in his face because you let him see the text now numbers. So you have a history of doing this to men. So you're living with your baby daddy. You're throwing in his face that you're in love with another man. You're literally trying to instigate him to have a reaction. He's not the bad guy here. He's not the bad guy here. He's a real person with feelings he had for you. He had a child with you. And you threw it in his face that you love someone else and you expect him not to have a reaction while he's paying your bills? You're fucking weird. You're the manipulator. You're the bad guy here, Lizzie. I'm sorry to tell you. I think anybody would be able to tell you just by reading your Reddit and reading any of that. Anybody could see it. Anybody could put it together. It's not hard to see. You're the bad guy here. He was not.
Agreed. That's
This
her.
is the pod. This is the pod.
That's the that's the pod boss. And so in the screenshots, like you could see him, he is all messed up. And my comments were my comments were, what in the fear and loathing in Las Vegas is going on around here? And after the podcast was over, or the Instagram live, she freaking took it, came into the I sent her the screenshots, and she came into the chat and she's like, as you can see when you read it there, she's just like, yeah,
Who's the other guy in there with them?
that's Rev. Or
So now
Timothy. I
you're-
can't. No,
so
sorry,
now
that's Timothy.
she's-
Timothy was in there with them.
So now, okay, I was gonna say if that's Rev, so then she's flaunting the pod boss in front of Rev.
Well, she did that anyways.
Bro,
And
it's a history, dog.
If you
It is
notice,
whole
she
ass
trailed
path.
from one to the next. There's never any space in between. She went from Brian Carlson to Timothy, Timothy to Rev, Rev back to Timothy, back over to Pete, from Pete to Keith, and in between that had her bus boys. You know, the ones that sent her on the bus home. So, it, like all within like the you know. Yeah.
Yeah, don't say stuff like that about Keith. I say what I see. It was gross to watch. He needs help.
Yeah.
Again, you sound like her mom, but this is advice that she needs in this moment. You're being a friend to her, but yet you're the problem. I totally understand. I totally understand her whole it's weird, but I get it. Like I understand. What's next on the docket here? Oh, I think there was a video, wasn't there? Did I miss that?
Yeah,
Did I not
there
send
was
that
the
to myself?
video of her and Rev's breakup.
I don't think I sent that to myself.
I can't get over the not jailbait, just rage bait.
Not jailbait, just rage
Yeah,
bait.
I could see Liz's comment, and it's just,
For me, I can't understand it. I'll have to send the video to myself if you want me to play it. This
That's
one
up to you.
This one I can't really make out, but it's
that is her dad reading the Reddit and hearting it.
okay. So the one that he hearts is where she describes him being 6'1", 180 to 200 pounds with a gigantic dick.
Yep.
Her father liked that.
Yeah.
This is her father. You can see it up there at the top.
Yeah.
Mr. Doug Telfer.
He didn't react to the rest of them. Just that one. Gave it a heart.
It's a weird thing to go putting a heart on, Mr. Doug.
Yeah.
weird thing to go putting a heart on, Mr. Doug. Heart on. Sorry, no pun intended.
Got it only at the end.
Disgusting. Okay. This one again, I guess, is the Justin fucking told a bunch of bullshit to my mom. Now she's saying she wants to take my kid.
And keep in mind, this is what's interesting. Yeah, this is what's interesting is that if you look at the dates, this was all right before we stopped being friends. So I found it quite interesting that she immediately targets me and decides that I'm the reason why Children's Services is at her house. But the whole time you look in her own messages, her mom's trying to take her kid, Justin's trying to take the kid, and then people verbally stated that they called. And she doesn't care. She does not care who called. She only cared to try and find a reason to be mad at me because we weren't friends anymore. That's literally it. Because every single person, even in her own personal life, wanted to take that kid. I just find it interesting.
No, the FBI should totally be involved here. And anybody like I had told her, like, oh my god, like I said, I've mentioned it once already that I had defended her in rooms she wasn't in, and it was literally just because I was like, this lady's literally asking everybody to leave her alone and go the other direction, you know. And I was just like, no, let's just not interact. I told so many people, you know, I had so many backdoor conversations. Backdoor because, you know, she got backdoored. But I had so many conversations where I was like, I think she's been through enough, dude. I think everybody gives her too much attention. I really do. Like, that's what I thought. However, she does it to herself. And that's what I told her. I was like, you post shit like this online. You go in these group chats with people or you have private conversations. You tell them this type of shit. And you think no one with a conscious body or mind is going to be like, I need to say something. I need to do something about it. It's a weird, fucked up dynamic.
I did the same thing when we stopped being friends and she was going off about all that stuff and everything like that. Do you know how many people, and I tried to show it, I posted it, how many people were like, I'm going to call CPS on her. And I literally would defend and say, don't do it. Like,
That's it.
Everyone would see everything that she's posting, all of her conversations, the live I had with her where she admitted to doing it in front of a kid, just in a different room. Like Justin walked in, but it was in the living room. But I'm the reason.
It was her. It was her words. It was her words. And that's what she told me too. And she asked me to take my videos down because CPS and all that kind of stuff, right? So I did. I took my videos down. I was like, okay. But then I had conversation. I should have uploaded those because I have them somewhere. But I had a conversation with her and I was like, so let me get this right. You've changed your story up to me 3 times and I'm supposed to believe any fucking word that comes out of your mouth, first of all. Second of all, you stated that it happened. She told me it happened, but she was like, my pants were on, so he didn't see anything.
Like, that doesn't make it better.
It doesn't. It's not any better. It's literally her admitting that that's what she did. She touched herself in front of her child, and then she talked about that. Right, and then she talked about that online, and then you're saying stuff like that out of your own fucking mouth, and then you think people, one, it could be targeted because people don't like you, so they could just be doing it out of spite or whatever. But you think somebody that's in there that has a child that goes, no, I'm making a phone call. You think people aren't going to do that?
Right?
Lizzie cannot be that retarded, but I'm starting to believe she's the most retarded person I've ever met.
She's pretty close.
Yeah. I would say that. Do I need to play this video?
Oh, that's up to you if you want to or not. I just thought it was an interesting way to end the video, or end the relationship, because it just shows like her character and the toxicity. There's no maturity ever, not in the relationships, not ending them, none of them. And I find it interesting too, because everything that's always said is like from her end is that, well, that was my past, I don't do that anymore. But then if you look at her content, she still does it, like the kind of behavior. Maybe the choice of words, because the videos get removed now, so like, because community guidelines are a little bit more strict than they were a few years ago. But like the reality is that all of that behavior is still the same. So I just find it funny that people make excuses for her.
Is this the one? I think it is. Yep, it is. All right, here it is.
Jesus Christ. Oh, well, first of all, you know, that's one thing I'm not. You can call me whatever you want, but you know I'm not a fan.
You were hitting on a tranny a week ago, and now you're saying she's hot with her 10-inch dick. So,
that was it.
Yeah. And you can see, like, that's not my post. It was sent to me, and I was like, what is this? Because I wasn't obviously in her life. Like, we blocked each other on Instagram, so like I couldn't see it. And it was sent to me, and I was like, what the heck? And so I just sent it over to Rev, and I was like, so didn't work out, did it? And it was like, because I had to chuckle about it because of the fact that she was like, so he's in love with me, I'm in love with him, fuck Justin. And then that happens. And then that's when she started posting on TikTok that her and Justin worked everything out. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, with her, it's obviously always someone else's blame. It's
Always.
never gonna take accountability. I think that's I don't know, and that's why, like in her dynamic, where like her father paraded her around as though she's the trophy, blah 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 blah. That's what she's looking for in relationships.
Yeah.
That's a whole separate thing. The mother was obviously giving her advice she didn't want to take because she hated her mom.
Yep.
She hated her mom, so she was gonna be a rebellion, no matter how. Now, if her father would have taken that role, and been the disciplinary one, and wouldn't have just paraded her around as though she was better than she actually was, she might not have ended up the way that she is, sure, but she also has to fucking take some accountability and grow up a little bit and realize, okay, if 1,000 people are telling me the same thing, maybe I'm the problem.
Yeah.
Because 1,000 people tell me that I'm the problem, and I admit that I'm the problem. I already apologized at the beginning of this podcast for being the one to start it. And, I mean, it kind of is. I created that monster. It's obvious that I did. Because I think she said that she liked me before she liked Misfit. So I really believe that because I didn't reciprocate those feelings, I didn't even know who she was. I really feel like at some point I disregarded her as a person, and she took super offense to that. And then just instantly the hatred came out.
Well, that's how I mean, from what we saw in the clip and what you're saying, 100%. And it trailed from there because it went from you, because then she was close to like Misfit and everything, but then she didn't fit in with the Mean Girls, which was part of like the Misfit Brian Carlson chat. And they were all like, yeah, we don't want to talk to you. We don't care. And she was like, and that's when she went like extra hard, which was interesting because, so from what I gather from the stories that Lizzie told me, plus the stories that like the Mean Girls told me, is that so Rach was actually like in with Brian Carlson and was under the impression that they were going to like maybe date. And then Lizzie started making all this content defending Brian Carlson. And oh, sorry, I was just reading the comment. And the Mean Girls were like, we don't want to talk or be friends with you. And she had approached Leah and was like, have I done something? Like, what did I do? And Leah was like straight up about it and was like, no, I just don't fucking like you. Like, I don't even want to give you a reason. I just don't. I don't like you. And then Brian Carlson and Lizzie ended up publicly dating, which threw Reggie to the curb. So then when Brian went with Daisy, now we're going through like a wedding party thing here, but so when Brian went with Daisy, which was right after and at the tail end of Lizzie, apparently Brian and Reggie were talking again, and Reggie had like bought him a blend or a slushy machine or whatever. And so then she was pissed because he had bounced on her twice.
Oh my god, that whole wedding party, like every groomsman and brideman or brideslady, whatever you want to call them, was sleeping with Brian Carlson.
Or trying.
that whole wedding was put together by Brian Carlson. So Mark's safe. Like, that is not me. That's never going to be a thing. So I'm happy about that. Joe says that Lizzie's pet, is claiming that Lana is only with him for money. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Get that money. You know what I'm saying? Who cares? It's weird stuff.
I mean, I'm still learning the politics, but isn't that kind of more of a conservative way of living anyways?
Yeah. So the wedding was a Brian Carlson meet and greet, but Brian Carlson wasn't there.
Right.
there in cum.
It's probably in the bathtub.
A lot of
It's probably in the
cum.
bathtub.
A lot of cum was spilt into those ladies from Brian Carlson when he was able to get it up and stuff like that, because we know that he can't. But yeah, that was put together by him. That's crazy. Mark safe. That's never going to happen for me. Mark safe from ever trying to be one of his bad bitches.
Joe, the chat isn't loading properly for anybody. It's such a weird thing. So like it looks like a TikTok live when you're in it now. Or at least it did on my phone.
Oh, that's because this fucking StreamYard thing, I don't know how to turn it off. I'll figure that out by like the next time. But you can have 2 modes now. So if you're watching on your phone, it's like we all show up vertical.
Yeah, like
But
a
if you're
TikTok
watching on
live.
yeah, but if you're watching on a computer, something else. I don't know how to turn that off yet.
So
Because it's
we
a
have it on the
brand new
TV.
thing.
We always watch your podcast on the TV. So I don't know if I can do this, but like
Oh,
I don't know
there
if
we
you can-
are.
Yeah, so like look, this is how I know whose comments I couldn't see, because on the TV, the comments show up on the side of all the people I can't actually see in the chat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll figure out how to turn that off just because I want it to just be one thing. I don't want it to be, I don't know why it does that, but I don't know, maybe it could be a cool feature if people learn it, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, it's something new. Like as soon as I turned on the computer, I had to upload stuff, so I didn't have time to mess with the settings of StreamYard. So then it downloaded a brand new update, and that's what it did. Just automatically.
Learning it's easy because it's just like a TikTok live. How you comment is just like a TikTok live. But the problem is not everybody's comments are coming through on the phone. So like I had to look up there and I was like, oh, AJ's in the chat. I can't see AJ's comments. Oh, this person's in the chat. I can't see. Like they're not all coming through on the phone. And then the ones on the phone aren't showing up on the TV.
Interesting.
Yeah. So like people are not even being able to see each other's comments at all.
That's not fair.
No.
That's not fair. Yeah, I'll find a way to turn that off for the next time, but I didn't have time to mess with those kind of settings. I just hit start and I started uploading stuff.
When it first came in, I was like, what? I missed it. It's already uploaded, because I thought maybe it was like the way the format was so different. So I got out and I was like, no, it says it's live. So I went back in. I think I went out and in like 3 times and I was like, oh, wait, there's the comments. Because I was trying to find where the comments are to go, I'm here. And then I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then I thought and was like, never mind, I'm here.
Yeah, I wanted to dissect it and look at it and like really read it, which is what I did like over the past couple of days. And I was like, okay, that's what I'm just going to talk about that. They love it whenever I talk about them anyway, so I might as well just go ahead and do it while I got the time. So that's what I did.
Yeah.
But it puts a lot into perspective for me for like who she is, why she is, how she is. I still say again, like I don't understand why we can't separate from each other and just stop talking about each other. Like that would be super, super awesome for like all parties involved. Nobody really wants to constantly see it.
So
but I'm
the
going to talk
reason
about
why-
it until I'm blue in the face, and I'm going to talk about people until I'm blue in the face. That's who I am. I'm always going to do that. I don't do that for clicks and views. I don't care if there's any interaction with it. But like I think that a lot of people are tired of it. I'm bored of it.
I think it's a vicious circle, because what happens is they don't have any idea how to do content if it's not fighting. If you look, their real lives are all fights. Look at our messages. Everything is fighting. It's toxicity. It's arguing. It's unhealthy. So when trying to make content, they have no creativity or ability to just make content. So they like to fight. And then there's the other people that are like, I could totally drop that. But we've tried and made content for months where it was just normal TikTok content, and it was bombarded with the toxic and the baiting to fight and the, constant pulling back into the circle. You can't make normal content if somebody is literally taking that normal content and sending tons of people over into your comment sections or such to bring you back in, because you can only block so many freaking people. You know what I mean? So it's a vicious circle, because there are a ton of people who would love to just make normal content.
Well, I mean, I'm not a content creator. That's not why I was originally on TikTok anyway, but I did like I went back and forth with like people on the right and people on the left, and I was very sarcastic and I just made some funny remarks and pissed off a lot of people. That's realistically how I got the start. And I did call out creation too, like several thousands and thousands of followers, on my call out content. That's how I got my first start, I don't think that a lot of people knew who I was prior to that. And then about my second or third account, that's whenever I met like JFG and Texan. They started sharing my content because I was calling out a dude that lived in North Carolina. His name was Mike. I forget his last name now, but he got arrested based off of the videos that I was doing. And JFG was a
Was he
big
from the
help for me.
South?
Yeah, he was from South. He was from South North Carolina. And
No, sorry, you said
he
his
was
name was Mike.
yeah, right. Probably the same guy. Yeah, so when I first met him or saw or came across his videos, he was like yelling at a girl in his video. And I was like, that's fucking weird behavior, I was like, you publicly posted that? So then I just clicked on his profile and went through it. And I saw like a bunch of videos that he was making where he was showing their chats. And when I looked at the picture of the girl in the chat, I was like, she looks awfully young. Turns out she was 10. She was
Shut
10.
up.
I'm not kidding. So he was making videos on his account where he was like, if you're 16, we can go out and get drinks as long as you get consent. That's what he was saying. Like, that's the videos that he was making. And I'm like, okay, these are super red flags and it's gross. So like I went and done my investigation. I ended up getting in contact with her parents, showed them the videos, all that kind of stuff. Somebody filmed themselves. This is when I stopped doing call out content. Somebody filmed themselves live driving to his house. They were going to go kill him. So he saw the live, had cops waiting for him and everything there. And I was like, okay, I'm going to get somebody killed. So it's like, I don't even enjoy what I'm doing anyway. So I started doing a lot of that like behind the scenes. And I did that for 3 years. I even created fake accounts and was doing sting operations and turning it into people. Only 2 people ever got arrested for it. But that's where I got my first start. And then I met Tex and JFG. And then Misfit Patriot ends up getting a hold of some messages or whatever. He's super pissed off at me. And that's how it started. And had he not entered into the situation and we started going back and forth, apparently to Lizzie, I created everything she is now by drawing a crayon drawing of a graveyard and peeing on it. Like, I don't know why that was so offensive, but it's so prolific. It's so prolific because everybody
so
5
wild.
years later still talks about it.
You know, when that story was told to me, first of all, never saw you, didn't know who you were, all the way up, like, the whole time we were friends. I don't think I even knew who you were all the way up through until we were not friends anymore. But the story that was told to me was not a crayon picture. When you said that tonight, I was like, wait, what? Because I was told that you pissed on his mom's book in the graveyard. And that's why it was like end all be all for her.
I never even had my hands on that book. I never bought the book. I never read the book. I read parts of it that was shared to me through screenshots, but I never read the book, never bought the book. I didn't even know the book was his mom's at first. Whenever it like first came out, I had no idea. And they were so offended by that. Like we auctioned off like a lot of stuff for like flood victims in Kentucky. That's what pissed them off the most, because that's when the graveyard came in. Texan posted, he was green screened. He wasn't even in a real graveyard, guys, for fuck's sake. And he was reading the book, right? In a graveyard. And he was reading the book. First of all, his mom's not dead. She is now, but wasn't then. So what did the graveyard have to do with anything? I have no idea. But I never pissed on a book. So what really happened, they told me, whenever I told the story the other day or a couple weeks ago or whatever, they told me that I have my chain of events wrong. It's not wrong.
Yeah.
I was the receiver of the comments. They were going to my Facebook pages, and they were commenting on pictures of my mom. They were commenting on pictures of my children. They were talking about, I hope that your child doesn't end up in a dark alley at 12. She was 7 years old, and they were talking about raping my kid on Facebook. Okay. So that's where they took it. They took it personal, right? So I didn't say anything about it necessarily. All I did was, okay, if he enjoys making me feel this way, I guess fair is fair. So I literally took a notebook piece of paper, took crayons, and drew graves. And all I put on there was Misfits family.
Okay, because I was
RIP.
just about to say, did he have a brother? And the brother died?
I think so.
Because that was the other
And
part of the events that was said. It was that you pissed on the book in a graveyard at his brother's and father's graves.
yeah, it never happened.
That's how it was told to me.
So what I did, like, I wanted him to mail me. So he keeps the ashes of his brother and his dad in Corona bottles, beer bottles.
Okay.
And I told him to send them to me. And what I would do is I would piss in them and turn them into plaster molds.
No
of
wonder
me.
Lizzie's was attracted to him.
Yeah. So that's what I did. That's what I said.
Got it.
But I said that after I had already peed on the graves or whatever. But it was a drawing. First of all, I still have the video somewhere. I'll find it. I'll repost it. Like, I don't care. It is what it is.
I just think that's wild because that's like, I didn't know that's how it went. That's the first impression that you gave me to try and explain to me how your side was to utilize me in going after like Cat, Tex, Bunny, all of that. This is the narrative that she was presenting to me, that you guys would literally, like, somebody, she named you, but I didn't know who you were. Somebody went to his actual brother's and father's grave and then pissed on his mother's book, which was about her, like, assaults and stuff. And I was like, what the fuck?
We did that auction or whatever. We used Drama Talk items, and a lot of it was dealing with like the Misfit Patriot stuff. So a lot of it involved Brian Carlson. Brian Carlson, when he gets into a relationship with a woman, he makes them read How to Date a Firefighter. So we bought that book and we auctioned it off, and we done all those kind of things. We didn't even collect any money. We were sending people to a direct link to donate. We raised like $1,200, $1,300 or something like that for a domestic violence shelter.
That's great.
That's where we sent the money. We didn't even collect any money. Yeah. So I mean, that's that. But yeah, I never actually went to anyone's grave. Don't get me wrong. I probably would have. Like if his parents were buried or whatever, I would have done that. Just to get back at him. But I didn't do that. So the fact that they still talk about it today.
But that's the key to it. It's to get back at him. When somebody takes a new player, I'm gonna go like this, or new character of the seasons, you know what I mean? They don't tell all of the truth. They don't. And when you're new, like, and I was super new, my first content had nothing to do with any type of negative stuff. So I like, the only reason why I was even on TikTok is because my kid was, and she almost died. And I wanted to find another thing to utilize to be close to her. So I joined to see her content and have fun with her on TikTok. Like, that was it, right? So I wasn't even near none of this stuff. And when it's being presented to you and you're told from that part forward, but never what initiated or how it started. Like, I think it was 6 months into being her friend that I even found out that you all used to be friends. Like, you guys all were like, or not friends, but like mutuals and like part of like around the same circle to begin with. And I was like,
now I've asked her for the proof and the evidence. She said that Lizzie said that I used to flirt with her in her DMs. I don't even remember her until after Misfit Patriot.
You called her a 12-year-old boy.
I don't remember her until after Misfit Patriot. So like I wasn't. We became mutuals on TikTok at one point where I let it all go because I was told by the girl that I was seeing at the time to forgive her and let it all go. So I did. I did that. So we became mutuals, but I never had any like one-on-one conversations with her. Never. So
Oh, the way I wish I never did. The only reason why I even had a conversation with her is because in my city was this other dude who was, again, another junkie who was abusive to his ex. And I had discovered through a mutual friend of his ex that they were connected. And she had a no contact order on him, all these things. And then he was in a live. I went to search because he had made a post saying something about going to her house, and there's a no contact order. And I lived like literally blocks away from them. So I went to warn her about that post, and she said, "Well, if you see him live, can you tell me if he's headed to my place?" And I was like, "Sure." So I went and looked, and he was live. So I went in, well, from the outside, I guess. And he was live with Lizzie. And I don't know if you guys remember this person, but um, oh man, what was it? Striker?
no.
Okay,
Maybe
it
if
was
I
some.
saw her. Maybe if I
It's
saw her.
another girl that actually was from Edmonton, and so they're talking about her. And he had said something. She had said no. Lizzie said something about her being in Edmonton, and he goes, "What? She's in Edmonton?" And he goes, "Oh, hold up, that's where I am." And then Lizzie goes, "Yeah, Edmonton's not that far." And I thought that she was being manipulated by him, who I saw and knew who he was in real life based off of the mutual friend, and knowing that like he was like dangerous between his meth and abuse to him or to her and her kids and everything. So I private messaged her to give her a heads up that, hey, he targets single moms, and that's what I thought she was. Targets single moms and women on TikTok to help finance the things that he needs to prove he should be able to see his kids because his baby mama's alienating him. And so I wanted to warn her so she doesn't end up falling for that. And in turn, she ended up seeing that that was true, bounced on him. And then because I was talking to her while she was live with Brian Carlson, that's how it brought me into the drama talk. Because then people started accusing me of being a Brian Carlson supporter. And I was like, who the fuck is Brian Carlson? I was like, huh? And next thing you know, all of these things were being posted about like my kids and things like that. And of course, I've never experienced anything like that. I was very new to it. And she's the one feeding me who these people are. So I'm being
Right.
told, like, you're a shitty person. This is what you did at a graveyard. This person's done this. This person's done that. And now I've got this hate on for all these people that are associated and involved with all the people talking shit about my kids. And I go crazy.
I'll be honest. I deserved a lot of the hatred that I got. I said and done a lot of things.
Same.
It is not an excuse. However, my kid was targeted. I targeted everyone. I said
Yeah.
all the heinous shit. I did all the stuff. I was talking about taking baseball bats to babies before Joe Campbell came together. Okay? I was doing that. Like I was saying the most grotesque shit. I was talking about punching women in the face and all different kinds of things. I did that. But I had
But you
also
know
made
what?
like
And it's not,
20
it's, yeah,
videos
it's not an
apologizing for my
excuse.
actions.
Yeah, it's not an excuse, but like, especially when it's like the first time you experience it in a public space, when people go at your kids and you've never experienced before, you have no idea how you're going to respond. And then all of that protective feeling for your kids kicks in. It's like for a slight moment, you're almost not responsible. But then when you clue in and you realize what you've done, now it's up to you to take responsibility kind of thing. You know what I mean? But also
I did.
still
I did.
say like, that's not cool. And that's what that's what
I'll
I
be
did
honest.
too. Right.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Butters was the one that kind of like showed me like you're an idiot, you know? He talked to me a lot in private like during that time, and I didn't say much like in the sense of like trying to just defend what I was doing, like, yeah, fuck everybody, you know, this, that. I took ownership of it. I had apologized. I even became friends with some of the people that I was going back and forth with after that, just because I was like, what am I really mad at? Words on the internet? I was mad at words on the internet. I admitted that
Yeah.
so many times. It's not an excuse. I take ownership
No.
of what I did. I deserve the hate that I got because I was not a good person. I'm
Yep.
not the
It
same
was the same
person.
way.
I'm not the same person, but there's a catalyst. I will still be that person when I need to be because I don't give a fuck. It's words on the internet. So if you got words, I got words. That's what they
Yeah.
are. But yeah, I deserved the hate that I got definitely
Same.
during that time
Yeah.
because I was not a good person.
No, I 100% agree. I was the same position, just different, same shit, different pile. But like
You know,
same thing. Yeah.
yeah, I take ownership of it. But yeah, I mean, all I can do is apologize, move forward as a person.
For
Whether
me, I
whether
think
it's a
that
good person
it
or a
wasn't
bad
even
person, I
what
don't
was
know.
said, because words on the internet, you're right. It is just words on the internet. It's not just what was said. It was the fear of I'm not like technological. Clearly even proved it in here. I was like, I don't know if I sent that. That's not supposed to be sent. I don't know where that button is. Jumping out of like I'm not
Right.
technological. When I first joined TikTok, that was my first actual experience being on any type of real social media. Facebook was always used just to upload pictures to keep them as an album so it wouldn't fill up my phone. That's basically what I
Yeah, that's
used.
what I
That
used. That's what I used it for.
I social media to me was like basically learning how to first write and learn the alphabet. Like, huh? I have no idea. So
Yeah.
the only thing for me is it wasn't just that it was the words. What scared me is that it was public and what was being said, I thought would put my kids in danger.
Yeah.
Like when you're saying that I'm offering my children and I sex traffic them around to other TikTokers, I'm scared that other TikTokers are going to find my children's social media and attempt that. I was terrified. It wasn't about the accusation. The accusation, go fuck yourself. The first thing I
Right.
did once I figured out how to go live was walk into a cop station and say, apparently I'm being accused of this on TikTok. Live on TikTok, I did this and was like, can you just like look me up and let us know if that's accurate or not? And they're like, yeah, there's nothing here. And like, this was on live. And I was like, cool. So I can leave like an accused sex trafficker. I can just walk out because it's not true, right? And they're like, yeah. And I just walked out. Like, I don't care about the accusation. It was easy to be like, go fuck yourself and then post my criminal record, right? But for me,
Yeah.
and not to mention the obvious, because nobody uses their brain, right? She sex traffics her kid and then they just return them to me. Is that how that
Yeah.
works? Because
Makes no sense.
I
I
just
don't.
I
I mean,
felt like what?
I don't know. I don't know about the. That. I don't know about that version of the story. But
Yeah.
I can understand. I can understand why you would be afraid,
Yeah.
terrified.
So I was afraid, and out of fear, I
Absolutely.
wanted to make other people scared. I wanted them to like be scared enough to back off. And when I'm being fed, this is how this person is, this is how this person is, and this is how you should deal with that situation. And I'm just in like this new mode of I don't know social media. I fucking acted like a piece of shit. I behaved in a way I've never behaved. I've never dealt with
Yeah.
social media, never dealt with a platform. It's no excuse. I definitely learned my lesson though, because I honestly, I do regret what I did. I know that like you can, like you said, like if I had to be that person again, I would. I'm okay with that. I regret what I did. I don't regret the experience because now I feel like I handle it way different and I realize more of how the social media situation works. And so I wish that I could like take back how I went about it. And also learning that social media means that not always are the people also in your ear to be automatically trusted just because they might know somebody doesn't mean that their stories
Yeah.
to you are true. And so it changed a lot of how I like perceive people, learn people, or around people, and such, right? But I hate that I did that. I hate that that was my reaction. I don't ever want that to be my reaction ever again. So that part for me, like I was gross. I was gross.
I
But like,
I was not great. I was not great. But at the end of the day, I'm one of those people. If some of this was happening to me in person, this would not be
That's
a
why it's
shouting
different.
match on TikTok. It would not be a shouting match on TikTok. And that's why I'm saying, like, the only thing I can do is apologize for what I did. But if I
Yeah.
had it all to do over again, I would have either done the same thing or I would have done worse.
Yeah, I
Because
feel like I would have done better.
I have to be honest with myself, especially considering they're still talking about it 5 years later. So it was impactful. It was impactful to
Yeah.
those people's lives. And I'm not proud that I was impactful to these people's lives. I'm just saying, like, it was so impactful that it traumatized so many different people for so many different reasons, and they can't
Yeah.
let that go. They can't
Yeah.
just go out there and experience their own life and just be themselves. They have to consistently talk about it. And it's like, yeah, I can't change who I was. I also wouldn't have changed it. The only thing that I regret, if anything, is that I just did it publicly, did it on TikTok. I didn't have to do it. I
Yeah.
chose to do it. So that I made the wrong choice. So that's what I regret, but I would have done it again. I have to be honest with myself.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like if I knew everything and could go back, I wouldn't do it the same. I wouldn't do that again. But I definitely, only because like I realize now, like all the things that they were saying, I mean, anybody with a brain knows that that's not true. And anybody without a brain can find out if they ever came around in person around to try and hurt my kids. Do you know what I mean? So like,
Yeah. I respond
I don't know
to what
why I
I
got so
want.
upset.
I respond to what I want to respond to. I don't defend lies.
Right.
So I'm not I don't even bring it up whenever they make 6 videos talking about it.
Yeah.
Because that's just your opinion.
Right.
And I'm not mad at
Say
you
what
for
you
having
want.
an opinion. I just respond to talking points that not that make me look good. I just respond to what I want. And half the time it's like if they can't get it out in the first 30 seconds of their video, I'm not even finishing it, dog. I'm not. They think that that's what happens, but it's not. Check your analytics and see how many seconds the video was watched.
Right.
That's
Honestly, I think there's only a couple of videos I've ever watched fully through. A lot of times I'll catch that first little bit and I'll be like, that's enough for me. I have a response. It's funny. And also I find it funny too because the only content I ever make now is literally mocking their behavior. Like it's just putting their behavior and
Oh
twisting
yeah,
it.
I do the same
So
thing.
like,
I do the same
yeah,
thing, yeah.
like even the AI videos,
Different
like for
way,
me,
but yeah.
it's so funny because when people are like, look at her behavior, look at her content, look what she posts. It's you, motherfucker. I post
It's
what
your
you do.
words.
You don't
It's
like
your
what
words.
you do? Maybe don't do it. I don't know why you're
Yeah.
mad at me for showing what you are doing. Like that's
My
fucking weird.
my favorite thing that people do is they go to a live, like a podcast, and they record it and then they post it. Yeah, I said what I said, motherfucking period. I would say it again, dude. Like, I'm not
And
ashamed of it.
the best part is you already have it posted, so you could just like press play over and over and over to say it
Like,
again.
it kind of that's what's funny to me is how they do that. But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, realistically, I mean, they talked about a timeline, how we're talking about we're leaving at the beginning of the year or whatever, the end of the year. It's our choice. It's our decision. That's what we want to do. We want to do that.
Right.
Why do we want to do that? It's simply because we want to experience personal life together and
Yeah.
we don't want to deal with social media.
Yeah.
We're not on display for other people. We're going to go and experience life together and fuck the rest. We're going to have a podcast and we're going to have a channel where we're both going to vlog from and things like
Yeah.
that. So like the
I'm
people that
excited
want to
for
see it, right? The people that want to see it can see it, and if they don't want to see it, they don't have to watch it either. So
Right.
it's for us, but there is going to be a place where we're going to post some things. But like at the end of the day, it's just like you can stay there on TikTok and be the same piece of shit you're always going to be, and I'm not. That's what it is. Liz is not.
Yeah.
And yeah, talking about like some of the videos like I was posting earlier, like Liz had told me that Lizzie said this or said that, and I'm like, no, no, the fuck she didn't. Like she didn't say that. She said that I looked like her rapist, and I was like, that's fucking so weird. She didn't say that. And then sure enough, I'm like, oh my God, I remember responding to that video, but I only responded to the first 5 seconds because I don't watch her videos. How did I miss that? That would have been glorious to respond to. God damn it.
Well, Pretty Boy from the Reddit says that he was white. She said that he was brown, but her Reddit indicates that he was white. So I'm going to go with the majority, and the majority says that he was white. So maybe he did look like you.
Maybe.
And
I
maybe
don't
that's
know.
why she liked you first.
Honestly, that's what her new profile picture is. She put up a profile picture of Mikey wearing not jailbait, just rage bait, the t-shirt we made. So I don't know how he got a copy of it already, but thanks, Mikey.
Wait, is that
Appreciate it.
actually him?
That's him and her. That
And
profile
she
picture, that
posted
has to
it?
be. Yeah, that has to be them. Because it doesn't look like Liz and I.
Oh, which, by the way, in case anybody didn't know this, she also claims that he lives like 4 blocks from her.
Ugh. Yeah, so that's them. I mean, thanks for the
That's
support,
insane.
Mikey. Hashtag Team Mikey. Hashtag Team Mikey. I support it. All right, dog. 2 hours and 11 minutes. I'm ready to move on. Not because I want to get away from you, but we could do this
I kind of
again.
do. Blocked. For what you did with Living
Oh,
Created. Blocked.
I can't help it. It was her words. She literally blamed me for her creation. She said,
Ditto.
I peed on graves, and that's what gave her the direction to learn and grow and become who she was and set her up for what she was set up for. So I was to blame for all of Lizzie's problems. I don't know why she gives other people that kind of power,
Right?
but if that's the kind of power she wants to give me, fine. Fine. Now I need to give her the power to change and grow and actually do some healing because that's what she needs. That's the advice she needs.
Well, in the meantime, before you jump off of TikTok, let's hope that instead of watching this podcast, she reads the transcripts so her content is more enjoyable for us because we all know her reading skills. So
Her reading skills are so terrible.
I'm crossing my fingers for reading the transcript and not watching.
You realize that someone that buys a shirt and wears a shirt out in public that says jailbait or rage bait is wearing a shirt that says jailbait or rage bait, and that's supposed to hurt me?
And then but here's the funny part. Do you notice her facial expression? You put my Reddit on a t-shirt. I'm so upset right now, but I gotta make it look like I don't care.
I mean, she wanted a t-shirt. She's just mad that we were the creators?
Listen, all that video proved was that she was so fucking mad that she saw her Reddit in the background that she couldn't even think straight to read the front of the bold letters.
She was reading the words of her Reddit, and the words of her Reddit was, I'm attracted and want to fuck my dad. If you're him, please send me a DM. That's what that fucking Reddit said the whole time.
All I picture is like, you know, that video where she was like dancing, but it was like this pumping fists.
Liz showed me a video. I don't know. Somebody posted it. I don't remember seeing it, but it was fucking funny. And it was like her dancing or whatever. And it was the squeaking feet on a gym floor. Skirt, 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 skirt. That was oh my God, that was the funniest shit I've ever seen.
I don't think I saw that one.
Okay, that wasn't the funniest shit I've ever seen. The funniest shit I've ever seen, because she loves it whenever I talk about her, so I'm going to do it at the end of the show. Susanna Stinger loves it when I talk about her. She thinks that I'm obsessed with her. The funniest shit I've ever seen was Susanna Stinger putting period blood on her face and then using that as a I got you, bitch. I have cried about that for so many times. I have laughed so hard my stomach is hurt.
Listen, I have to explain this to you because it's just going to make it better every single time now when you think of that.
Okay.
When I first saw it, all I could literally picture is Lizzie being like, you zoomed all the way up because of her picture. And I was like, Susie was like, I'm going to outdo the zoom up. I'm going to go physically right up and gather the period blood onto my face. And when I pictured that, I literally was like, wait, is this real?
They were
Like, is this real? Did she actually do this?
damn it. They were in a group and they were like, you know what'll get them? Let's dress up as Liz's period for Halloween. And Susie was like, I got it. I got it. And then she went and she poured fake blood on her fucking face that she got from Wally World for $1 after, since it was on counted price, since it was after Halloween. She
It was
poured
probably
that.
just her real own period.
Yeah, well, it's probably.
She couldn't afford the fake blood. She couldn't even pay her rent. She definitely took that from her own.
She doesn't have a uterus anymore, so I don't think it was hers. So I don't know. It could have been. It could have been her son's. It could have been her son's. Well, daughter, son, whatever it is. And poured it all over her face, and then posted that shit to the internet. Like, yep, this'll get them. Yeah, we've laughed about it so much that she'll never be able to live that down. I actually think that I'm driving to wherever you are, and you're gonna tattoo that on my lower back. Yeah.
I swear to God. Oh my God.
That is the funniest shit I've ever seen. All right.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Do I just hit that arrow?
Yeah, the arrow takes you out. All right. We're gonna catch everybody on the next episode of the GWC Effect. Susie, I can't believe you posted that, dog. You did that with your whole consciousness. There's no way you did that sober, but you still did that. You'll never be able to live that down. You still put someone else's period on your face and thought that was some sort of gotcha. That would be equivalent to somebody putting white stuff on their face and saying they're Charles's cum. Just wanted you to know that.
I'm fucking sorry, was this not your fucking expectation? Were you looking for a little less imagination? In case you didn't fucking notice, I don't give a shit. Bill, I don't like your style. Get over it. You got fucking issues? I can't fucking solve them. Here's a fucking tissue, now it's not my fucking problem. Fuck.